What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and I will be your only host for this entire week. So please go back and tune into the previous episode. So on Monday, I talked about Dish and how they may have paid ransomers for a recent ransomware attack. Tuesday's episode revolves around the Pentagon highlighting or outlining, I should say, CMMC and how it will go into effect this fall. At least that's what they say. So definitely tune in for that one. On Wednesday's discussion, which I was more of a opinion than discussion because it's by myself, right? I go over a Wired article entitled "A Republican-Led Lawsuit Threatens Critical U.S. Cyber Protections." Don't worry, I don't get political, so definitely tune in for that one. It's bigger than that, right? Like I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever. We need to protect railroads and airlines and water facilities and pipelines. Like all of our critical infrastructure is vulnerable and it needs to be protected. I don't care what party you represent. So definitely tune in for that one and hear my opinion about it. But so I have not flown solo in some time, so hopefully this one isn't too short, I guess. So typically these episodes, the weekly rundown lasts about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but then it's two people going back and forth about their week, right? Like, what did you do? What did you do? So all I have is myself to kind of run that down. I had an amazing week and weekend. So this weekend was my 40th birthday. So turned 40, got a little bit of gray in the beard. I don't know if you can see it on video, but so yeah, so my family treated me to a really good time. My wife was awesome. Everything from big 40th birthday balloons to a great cake. I went to Paris on Saturday. What are we doing Friday? So Friday was dinner, amazing dinner. For anybody who lives down here in the Tampa area, I went to Ocean Prime. So it's becoming kind of a annual thing for my birthday. I go to Ocean Prime. Amazing steak. It's a great steakhouse. Just a great experience altogether. But she took me out to dinner, and then I should work my way backwards. So Thursday was cake and presents, amazing cake, spoiled so many presents. I greatly appreciate my family for all they do for me. So hopefully they know that. And then Friday I took off, so took a day of PTO. I think it's my second day ever, so I'm still getting used to being a civilian. So I'm out of the military for 2 months, officially June 1st. So it's right around the corner. As you can see by the beard, I've been transitioning for about 6 months out of the military, but that was internship, skill bridge, all that good stuff, right? So that was me spending my my leave I had saved up over a course of like 5 years or something like that, just planning to get out and what have you. Because I remember I told somebody that I had 6 months of transition time from the military, and they're like, "Oh, that's what my tax dollars being spent on." I'm like, no, chill. Like, just because out here you guys get like maybe 10 days, 20 days is great. 30 days is amazing. In the military, I get 30 days every year and I can hold on to it, right? It doesn't expire. So I held on to a lot of leave, the max legal. And then on top of it, they give you a little bit of time to do an internship. So all in all, 6 months of transition out of the military, great experience. But why I say all that? Oh, because I took my second day of PTO. PTO is crazy. He was like, I can't take off 3 weeks. I mean, you can, but if you have enough PTO, but you have to plan around it. It's not like the military where there's several people who can do your job, right? Overlapping people who can do your job for the most part. Like a lot of us don't feel that way. And I get that. Like sometimes I don't feel like I can take off either. That's why I had so much leave saved up. But I say all that to say I took a day off. It was great. Great to have that break. And then Saturday we went parasailing. So my wife treated me to that. Um, took the so again I'm skipping. Couples massage, which was amazing. My leg's a little rough. Like my back still hurt. It was deep tissue massage, but I felt like she was putting her whole body weight to get out knots and stuff like that. But I did feel better afterward. Just the day after I was sore. But then we went parasailing. That was an amazing experience out here in St. Pete. Yeah, it was St. Pete. Um, over on the water. Like so, Florida is always amazing for beachgoers. Like go to Clearwater or what have you. Like it's always a great experience. So we took the kids, like all the kids are big enough to get on. So my youngest was the most fearless up there. Like I'm holding on to the straps. I'm not letting go. Like I know I got the harness and I'm clipped and all that stuff. Not happening. But the 8-year-old man, he was having a ball. So and then my older two, my high schoolers, they also enjoyed themselves as well. So it was a great experience. So I highly recommend if you're down here in the area to go parasailing, try it out. Or if you're on vacation, go parasailing. Very safe, very I wouldn't say cheap, but it's definitely you get a lot for your money. So definitely check that out. I got Breath of the Wild, so I know I got that before my birthday because I had the FOMO. I had to get it before my birthday, but I actually got to sit down and play it a little bit. Amazing game, amazing, amazing, amazing. I can't praise it enough. I know the ratings speak volumes for it. I think it is only the sixth game to be awarded perfect scores from Famitsu. I can't speak today. Which is a Japanese magazine. I don't know if it's still in print. It might be digital now. I don't know, but they don't give out perfect scores. As you can see, like in their whole run of decades, they've only given out 6, and 4 of them happen to be Zelda games. So, not saying they're biased, but I mean, Zelda games are some of the best games released um, in the past couple decades. So, not saying that's the only games that have been released that are near perfect, but man, this game is as close to perfect as you can get. The systems all work, the physics works somehow on the Switch. You're able to jump from the very top, so from the sky all the way into a cavern underneath. For those people who complained about there not being a lot of dungeons or no dungeons in Breath of the Wild because they had like the divine beast or whatever, so they're kind of like, meh, they were cool, but you had a bunch of shrines that were puzzles. Then you had like semi dungeons. This one has the shrines. I have not gotten to a dungeon yet, but it's my understanding there's like at least 4 dungeons, and it has a whole subterranean aspect, right? So that risk reward, like you go underground, and the entire world map has a underlayer to it. So like the Sky Island stuff, I don't believe there's as much surface up there as what's beneath, which is cool. Like going up there, finding stuff. There's puzzles up there. It's just a cool experience. Like the verticality of the game is amazing. But then the subterranean, I spend a lot of time down there just discovering stuff and finding mining ore and things of that nature I can use in my weapons and to get upgrades. So all of these systems all tie together very well, is what I'm trying to say. Like they took what Breath of the Wild was, which I thought was an amazing experience. A little bit empty is what people said, and I somewhat agree. Um, but that was like the test, and now this one is full fledged. Like it's too much stuff. Like I'd spent an hour yesterday just exploring and finding a bunch of cool stuff. So definitely worth the experience. I played 90% in dock mode. So I played on my TV because I want to use the Pro controller. I just feel like I have way more control over combat and things of that nature. And then I try to go upstairs with it in handheld mode. I have a switch grip, so because I don't know if you're like me and you have larger hands, like them thumbsticks will make your thumbs throb after a good 10 to 15 minutes of play, maybe 20. But switch grip helps out a lot. I have not been successful yet. Every time I've taken it upstairs, I've fallen asleep. I get the title screen, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to play this, and then gone. Back my eyelids. So I've not experienced it truly in handheld mode, because I'm always I'm getting old. I'm over the hill, right? Is that what 40 is? I'm getting up there. But yeah, great experience. So I was going to jump from that into Ghost of Tsushima, but man, I think I'll be lost in Hyrule for the next 100 hours. So there'll probably be no other games being really played for the entire summer. They'll probably all be Tears of the Kingdom. Um, Also, so Ant-Man and the Wasp came to streaming on Disney, so I told Shannon I would check it out. Um, wasn't bad, wasn't great, very mediocre. Um, I don't know. I think that Marvel has a trilogy problem. Not all the trilogies are great, right? Like Guardians of the Galaxy, great trilogy. Second movie, meh. All right, I give you that. Like the first movie was amazing. I watched the second one recently just to make sure I was ready for the third, and I came out of it like, man, that was a meh experience. Um, Third movie, amazing again, right? Captain America. First movie was okay. Second movie was great. Third movie was amazing. Iron Man. First movie was great. Second movie, I can't remember if the second or third was meh. I think the second one was meh. Third one was good. Um, Thor, Thor: The Dark World, Thor 2, still the worst of the MCU. Like, and when I say the worst, these are still B, maybe C plus movies. Like Thor was pretty bad. Thor 2 was pretty bad. But Marvel hasn't dropped any bad movies in my opinion. They just like there's a scale, right? Like you have like your super amazing, then you have your okay. This was a cool to filler to get me to where it needs to be, and that's what I felt this one was. This is the beginning of phase 5. So we're doing all the Kang stuff. And to be honest with you, the only stuff I liked in it was the Kang stuff. Everything in between felt kind of like a mashup of Marvel meets Star Wars or Marvel meets Mad Max, Fury Road, right? There's like that little bit of that as well. Um, Visually amazing. It's one of the best visual Marvel flicks yet. I think Multiverse of Madness was also very, very pretty movie. There are not a lot of ugly Marvel films to begin with, right? Like some people don't like all the CGI and stuff like that. Like in this one, the majority of everything was CGI because they went to the quantum world, right? So there's not much here in the real world that could be as interesting as what they made. And they did an amazing job. Like, don't get me wrong, it had some, but it wasn't like Ant-Man's supposed to be funny, right? Ant-Man is a heist movie with funny characters, and they didn't bring the funny this time. It had a little bit more of a serious tone, and then it didn't really do anything at the end, right? Like even it makes fun of itself. It's self reverent at the end when Ant-Man's kind of recounting everything he did. He was like not to give anything away, but like, did I do anything? Like, I just didn't feel like there was a resolution. However, the cutscenes were great. Like they allude to like some crazy amazing stuff is coming down the pipe with Jonathan Majors. He does an amazing job as Kang. Like he keeps the movie going. But there's a period of 45 minutes or so where he's not in it. They're just talking about him. So I guess they're trying to build the hype for that encounter, but I just didn't. It didn't do it for me. Again, not bad. I would say it's in the top 5 worst if there's such a category for Marvel movies. Like obviously the worst being Thor: Dark World. All right, like, I don't think Thor 2. No one. It's indisputably the worst. All right, objectively the worst is what I would say. I know so somebody out there is yelling at the podcast, but I would say in no particular order, except for Thor 2 being the worst out of all the Marvel flicks. I would say Eternals is in there, not because it wasn't visually appealing. They had a bunch of cool characters in it. It was boring. I think I nodded off in Eternals. Um, I would say Captain Marvel, the first one. I think the Marvels will be cool when that one actually drops. But the first Captain Marvel was just meh to me anyway. I would say uh Ant-Man 3, the one I just saw, that will be in there. What's two other ones that weren't that great? Um, you know what? I have to watch the Age of Ultron again because in my head, Age of Ultron was not that spectacular, but I can see people challenging that one. Captain America 1 was half of it was good, but they all the best stuff was in the montage, in my opinion. But Captain America 2 and 3 were great movies. Um, maybe it's not a top five, maybe it's just a top three worst. Where you have Thor 2, you have because Ragnarok wasn't that great either, to be honest with you. No, I'm sorry, Ragnarok was great. It was what was the Ragnarok was the third one, and then I want to say the fourth one was with Gore, the God Butcherer, which I thought was okay as well. I think there's a lot of that movie left on the editing room floor that probably could make that movie more robust, right? Where with Gore, the God Butcherer actually butchering gods. A lot of that was cut. But yeah, maybe it's just top three. Maybe it's just Eternals, Ant-Man 3, Thor 2. And then all the rest are B and up. Those are the C pluses, in my opinion. But you let me know. Like, good. Shoot me a comment. Let me know how you feel about that. So probably polar opposite. Like, oh man, you crazy. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much was my week. Very busy work week. Going into another very busy work week. Um, and then I had this really good break in between. I should not, but I probably will do some work on this Sunday. So that way Monday is not uh, as packed, as action packed, as busy, so to speak, right? Um, Aside from that, I need to renew my CEH. Oh man, that's this month, so I got to go in and see how to apply my credits and then renew that guy. Um, and that'll be the way I end May, right? Like May will be very busy. I had a very good birthday weekend. I greatly appreciate my family and all they did for me. It was amazing. I was like, do not do this again until I'm 50. It's too much. I don't like a lot of attention, but it was great. It was I much appreciated. I needed the downtime. I kind of because I didn't do anything for my retirement from the military either because I was transitioning from overseas by myself to back to my family. Um, it was just too much happening. I just wanted to get home and get settled. So I would say it was a great like happy birthday, retirement, and transition all in one event. So I do greatly appreciate that. But that's pretty much all I have. I'm really surprised I got almost 20 minutes out of just myself, right? So definitely tune in. Hopefully next week, Shannon will be back on. I know I have a special guest coming up soon. So I'm trying to get as many of those people as I can. I know some people have to go through their companies get cleared to be on the show and all that good stuff. So I appreciate them going through all that effort to do so. And like I said, we're growing our base out. So already I can see in the stats that we're getting more people. Shout out to Adam Bird, who runs Heroes Media Group every Friday, I want to say. Every Friday he gives us a shout out. So that's more visibility as well through his Facebook page. So more people are tuning in. Um, yeah, let's just keep growing this thing out, and hopefully in the future, um, our efforts will, show that there's definitely a need for such a podcast, as well as now we can bring in people to help sponsor and partner and get more people through that pipeline and then getting them to positions where they can grow, and then eventually they'll get into those C-suite and senior level positions as well. So that's what we're here for. So that's what the platform's for, and I'm looking to find people who want to support that, to either be on the show, talk about their experience, uh, or bring their products and things of that nature that also highlight that. Right, I'm not trying to sell mattresses and things of that nature. I'm trying to get people training, jobs, skill ups, things of that nature, products. that they may be able to use in their career, right? Training, things of that nature, that will help them skill up to get in the industry. So uh, with that being said, please check out all of the social media that goes by our name. Please hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Stay safe. Stay secure.